you all so much for being a part of the second Anchor the Dream group visionary stewardship experience. It's just so much fun to get together and create visions for our world that will have an impact and help us to create agendas of our own choosing for the earth, for life on earth. And I like to say everything begins and ends in gratitude. So I invite us all to take a deep breath. Just focus on what you might be feeling grateful for at this time. Divine presence of life, divine presence of love, Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God, all names of God, all names of the divine being that is the very essence of our own being. We adore you. We love you. We come together with intent for harmony, peace, visionary activism of the highest level, with great joy, with the intent to bring a healing presence to our world. And we come to you with a heart filled with gratitude. I'm grateful for everybody here and for the opportunity to present this work, and I'm having so much fun doing it, creating all the many pieces and parts and interactions. And I just invite you all to throw out into the room or say silently whatever you're feeling grateful for at this time. In keeping with our reality creation teachings, everything begins with an intention. So I'd like for us to speak forth our intention for the weekend. What do you want to get out of it? How do you see it helping the world? Etc., whatever comes to your heart and mind. So we're just all going to go around and speak our intention for the weekend. I intend to have just a lot of fun, and I intend to expand this process and learn more about it, and to be a conduit for love in the form of wisdom, insight, sharing, and a supporting platform for you all to create your visions. I intend to enjoy myself thoroughly and to enjoy all of you.
My intention is to be open to my higher power, and to have the courage to hear and feel and know whatever it is I need.
My intention is to receive greater clarity and inspiration so that I can assist Laura in creating her vision.
My intention is to merge with everybody, to raise our vibrations up, to kind of bring about the transformation into a higher place with more love and more peace on the planet than where we're living right now, because as we know, the world just isn't working and we do need to change it.
My intent is to be awakened and inspired by new ideas and new vibrations that I think will be created over this workshop.
My intent is to learn how to create every day of my life into peace, joy, and happiness.
My intention is to find the courage that I need to do the work I was sent here to do, and to lose the fear and the ego that's attached to everything I seem to touch, and just, do the light work that I was sent here to do.
My intention is to, first of all, enjoy the sense of community I feel. I feel a lot of like minds and a lot of people who want the very best for our world and for others. My intention is to develop a sense of love that will reach out to everyone and which will put aside my ego too, so that I'm able to do that.
My intention is to be absolutely wide open and receptive to the vibrations that are here. I feel a lot of love, a lot of peace, a lot of harmony, and that I will take that back into my everyday life.
My intention is to experience the guidance from my higher self as well, but also in that extension into the group and be a sort of, what I want to say, a word I've never used before, but a way of blending with other souls, so that rather than thinking about my intention or my purpose, that I'm really conscious, ongoing, of our intentions, our purpose, and that I'm part of that. So more of my intention is about being part of and still aware of myself as an individual, but holding the group consciousness at the same time.
My intention is very much like every intention, all that you've said, and for me personally is learning how to be happy, and it's okay for me to be happy. And in doing that, may healing take place right here and now within me and spread throughout this earth, and especially my second intention, that it spread to downtown Richmond, where, well, they had some fun today, so I just wanted to keep going.
My intention is to live each day filled with happiness and joy and peace and harmony, and to spread it to everyone and the community.
All of the above. My intention, though, is first to have fun in this process and to be able to reach into my higher self more easily, and in learning new things here in this group, that it would help me to be a catalyst for others for transformation.
My intention is for me to, sorry, it's a little emotional because I'm in the midst of a lot of changes in my life. Thank you. My intention is to stay in alignment with my higher self. I feel that I really have been falling into this, been coming into a lot of changes in my life's purpose, in my relationships, and in my health. And it's all coming, thank you for that. It's all, I'm realizing it's all being created now from within and being extended out, and my intention is to stay in alignment with what's in here and not as opposed to what's all out here anymore. And to really just to feel the safety and trust in my own feelings. That's my intention. And to know, my intention is to really know what I know and not to give that away, and to stay in my power and to become more and more aware of my small places, which are my places where I tend to identify with my humanness, where now I'm really coming into truly who I am and feeling my divine essence. Yes, thank you.
My intention is to learn more and to become the person that I was meant to be.
What I'd like us to do is create a massage circle. We're gonna give each other a little back rub. We'll get to know each other a little better and loosen up a little bit and all that. And let's do it sitting down. So I think that might make it easier to... What are you doing, you silly, you naughty little knot? You naughty little... You're thinking that you're real. You're thinking there's actually some kind of matter here. It's all space, man. Our minds and hearts and desires actually create the realities we experience. And I know that many of you are masters at this already, or in varying degrees of mastery, or perhaps brand new, or, but how many people brought a reality creation story this evening? Great, okay. And this, I just want to go over the book. If you take a look at your book, shift happens. In fact, it's happening right now. I invite you to open a little further, embracing the world and all her people in your heart of compassion as we walk, dance, fly through coming changes. I have been gifted with a sensibility for what's coming. At this time, we, our angelic or divine selves, wish to activate our earth selves into the reordering of our priority structures. The structure of the world as we know it is going to be shifting, and we're invited to release old structures and pictures about what's important in our lives. We're invited to quickly, gracefully, easily, and in perfect timing pay attention and follow our truest heart's calling at all times, speaking our full and complete truth without reservation, and opening to the heart of compassion. Stacy put it very nicely in her intention. This is really, it's like I feel like many of us are at this juncture where we're feeling the pull of the old and the pull of the new at the same time. So we're kind of maybe feeling like we're in the rack or something a little bit. But we're being, this part of this process is to help us all just kind of leap over here and go for it and still love these other structures and interact with them appropriately, but to find our calling and really trust it and follow it. We're invited to remember ourselves as souls more than bodies, while at the same time enjoying, loving, and caring for our earth bodies more than ever before. Our earth bodies are the vessels through which love, God, our true self, experiences delight and joy. As we eat a high vibrational diet and stay in the frequencies of love, joy, and play, we are allowing the Creator of all to enjoy through us. This is our true self getting to come and play on earth. Our true self, divine Creator, many names for this, I'm sure. We all have different names for this presence and power of love, this being, this essence of who we are. This being relishes expressing in, through, and as each one of us. We are invited to embrace change and to walk into our new creations willingly, knowing that we are creating for our future, and the coming golden age, as some might call it, as an age of peace that has been prophesied for many, many thousands of years. Some of what we're creating and blueprinting is our gift to ourselves and our descendants as they are born and as we are reborn into future earth lives, if we choose. We're invited to be as expansive as we possibly can in our visioning processes. Think big, dream big. What's the best of the best of the best you can even imagine? We're invited to let go fully and to trust this process, to trust our inner guidance and to allow our hearts, minds, bodies, and souls to flower as never before. We're invited to embrace unconditional love and to feel the very depths of our love for all of humanity and our compassion as we witness the shift. May you always be blessed. May you always be safe. May you always be inspired. May you fulfill your highest destiny path, expressing your perfect part in the divine plan for Earth, and all is well. Who would like to share a reality creation story?
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like standing because...
You're a star.
Okay. Thank you. I feel like a star. Thank you so much. Thank you. This started 5 years ago. I asked God, what do you intend for me to do in 5 years? Because that was the magical age that I was able to retire. And it was something that I really focused on for a long time, and I was in a lot of turmoil about it. I mean, I was agitated, and finally my cousin and I were walking in Pipestem State Park, which is in West Virginia, and she and I are soulmates on our spiritual journey. And she said, Amy, I think that probably you're speaking so loud you can't hear spirit. So I said, me? So she said, why don't you practice handing it over? And so I said, okay. I blessed it and released it. And July 1 was my date that I could retire. And New Year's Eve this past year, I did a picture mapping, and I put on there that I would, this was the year that I would find the right thing and that I would retire. And the date was coming upon, and I still had not made up my mind. In fact, I just retired from Chesterfield Fire Department and Virginia Retirement System, and I go to Unity of Richmond, and my minister called me just out of the blue, and she said, this opportunity is coming up, and would you be interested to because I'm a very active member, and I love unity. I love my congregation. I just love the church, and I do a lot of volunteering. And she said, would you kind of like to move from, in addition to your continued volunteering, she had to put that in there, but would you like to get paid for doing, a lot more? And I was like, oh, thank you, God. I felt like that was a gift. And the interesting thing is, so that was a reality thing that I have manifested. I mean, divine timing, divine order. The other thing that that has been manifested for me by Spirit on a daily basis is abundance and prosperity. Now, I put my paperwork in to retire, and because of a computer glitch, I got a letter on the date that I should have got my first retirement check, and it said, Dear Miss Davis, congratulations on your retirement, but you won't be getting paid until August because the paperwork from the county to the state got lost or something. So I was like, oh boy, my salary for the month, what am I going to do? And, just the amazing thing is I've had a couple of businesses that I've kind of let go of this year. And if you have employees, I had workers compensation. And because of some interesting things, I got a huge, refund very unexpectedly. So yeah. So turning it over, letting go, releasing, and really every day being with God, I'm open and receptive, and it happened. So.
I wrote mine down because I want to be succinct. Otherwise, I might go off on a tangent and start rambling, and that would be interesting too. But about 2 years ago, I followed divine guidance and performed a good deed for someone. And I was very excited because I knew from that experience that I was going to be rewarded in some way. My reward came in the form of inspiration at 3 o'clock in the morning when I woke up with an idea I thought was brilliant and began writing a deck of divination cards. I saw potential for them to be helpful to a great many people, and I decided to work at getting them published. In about 2 months, I had written 52 short essays containing spiritual assignments. I then came up with the concept to use the cards within a support group. I took pictures of peacock feathers and started playing around with the images. It was not my intention. I was just playing around, but that is how I came up with the design of the box and the cards. I then hired a project manager to help me get them published because I had no idea how to go about doing so. Neither did she, but but she believed in my project and in me, and so she was willing to help. I then hired a second editor to make sure that the cards were the best they could be and take them to the next level. I researched publishing companies and writing agents, and I got no ideas and no leads. I told my project manager, I know this should be easy if I could only figure out how to do it. And that night, I got advice from an expert and decided to follow his advice. I applied for an ISBN number. I gave myself a loan. I started my own publishing company. I hired a box company and a printing company, and I published the cards myself. This project was never motivated by ego, but my desire to give back all that I had learned. I looked at it like an assignment, and by completing my assignment, I learned the keys to manifestation. Focus on the end result. Keep your intentions pure. Take one step at a time, and let your path be revealed to you. My intention was to help people, and so far, the person that has been helped most is me. The process of manifesting the cards was transformative, and the process of using the cards continues to transform my life. Thank you.
This is a manifestation of, I've been looking for a place to really work. I do massage, and I've had a lot of really unpleasant experiences trying to find a job, working in a positive environment. And I remember working and visualizing a perfect place for me to work. And I remember thinking that all of the rooms would have like a theme, that it would be, very open, lots of sunlight. Everybody there would be like really just very loving, very supportive, and didn't really want to work, own the place, because I'm just not that organized. But I had this vision of like a receptionist at the front desk and everything, and I can remember getting to a point where I was so like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, massage. And my daughter's like, Mom, you're called to do this. You know that you've had all the signs. God has shown you repeatedly this is what you need to do. There's got to be one place that you feel energetically drawn to. And I was like, yeah, I've never been in there, but every time I drive by, I just feel drawn to this place. So I called. They weren't looking. The owner lived in Colorado, but, teaching. But they asked for my name. The next day they called back and they said that she was flying in to come for a visit and she wanted to meet with me. Went in, gave her a massage, she hired me. And I walked in, there's like 6 massage rooms, everyone's got a theme. There's 15 women working there. And it is like a family. Everybody supports each other, loves each other. A receptionist at the front desk. It's everything that I visualized that I wanted to work at is there. And I've got like the coolest boss. So that is like you can create your own reality with just thinking about it.
So now, why would we be sharing these stories in this context? Anybody?
Empower each other.
Empower each other. Prove it works. If it works for us individually, then it works for us collectively. If it's a universal law, then it's universal. It's like it's not going to work here and not over here. So as we're moving into group process and thinking of large visions and coming up with these wonderful visions, we can know that we know that we know that this works, that this is real, that form follows thought with feeling, that is true, that is how the universe works, and we are coming into mastery. I intend that I achieve total mastery now. And you'll see around the room, just to help remind us, there's lots of different ways and systems of expressing this sequence of events that happens in the process of creating realities. And so, for example, let's see which one. I'm drawn to this one today. So one way of looking at it is when we have a desire, and some of these things are coming from years of study, which it comes down to the most simple things, but a lot of reality creation teachings leave out a couple of essential steps. And so I want to make sure we really, I know all of us have been studying these, and there's a couple of really important steps. And one is to use the power of love and the heart in creating. Because if we create just from the mind, things will happen. But if we don't bring the power of the heart and love in and become at one with what we want to create in our heart, then it will tend to be short-lived and perhaps not perfect. And when we create with the power of love, when we bring our visions into our heart, then they will be better than expected. And even more things of the same frequency will also come in, and they will tend to last and transform and grow as appropriate. So that's key number one that I really want to bring to you all and share, that in my experience has been so beautiful. So we be the presence of love. We become one with the presence of love. We imprint that love with our imagined form. We feel and experience love as ourselves, as the very essence and presence of that imagined form. And this is a very powerful concept if no one has ever done this before. I am whatever it is I want. I am abundance. I am a new car. Whatever it is, really become at one with it. Know that love plus imagined form creates. We know this. So therefore we can trust. We can say, yes, this is going to happen. I know this is going to happen in perfect ways. And then what we do is we release, we trust, and we stay in our joy, and we stay uplifted in our vibration as much as possible. and stay true to ourselves and our calling. We stay in gratitude. We focus on what's desired. We intend, and allow, and allow, and allow. We also, as people have mentioned, take inspired action. That's not up there. So once we've made a big intention, once we've launched something like that, we're going to get the hit to do something. And sometimes it may be real easy, like somebody comes over to our house. And like, for example, one time when I was playing around with this energy, I really needed some help with the yard work. I had this huge yard and there was like beds of mulch everywhere. And I mean, there was just like piles of leaves in these beds of mulch. And so anyway, I practiced this one cute little technique. I just raked away one small area of leaves in this yard. And I just sat there and I stared at it and I looked at it and it's like, isn't that beautiful? I love that clear patch of mulch. It just brings me such joy. I'm one with you. I love you. I adore you. Do you know what happened? It wasn't an hour. And my father-in-law at the time came over and started helping me clean out those beds, and neither one of us could stop. We couldn't stop. It's that simple when we don't have any obstructions. So one of the sections we'll get to tonight is clearing obstructions to creating what we want. But it really is so simple when we're completely free and clear and we release and we trust and we just are in that vibration, then stuff happens. It really, 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 really works. So, one of the things we've been playing with so far is the idea of raising our vibration. So, raising our vibration is bringing in that feeling component. We have the mental thought component, and then we need the feeling component because the feeling is the energy.
One of the ways that I raise my vibration is to be aware of the universe outside of our planet, and that our planet is part of the universe, and that in my consciousness, I don't want to say in my mind because I don't feel it's just in my mind, but in my consciousness to go into that place of outer space and to be conscious of that oneness and the merging with space. And it's like I'm in the dark and stars are all around me. And that's kind of a sense of the visual, but it's more of a sense than I'm seeing anything. And it's just the emptiness and the silence of the space. And for me, that's a very good way to raise my vibration.
And when you feel that, do you feel you're more in touch with being able to imagine that what you're going to create can come into form? Because you're in formlessness and you're imprinting. Do you have that?
In that state, I have no awareness of thoughts at all. I have no thoughts, so it's not a thought place. But certainly prior to that, I'm aware that that isn't why I use that. In other words, I don't use the raising of my vibration and then think about what I'm intending. I use that as part of the process of being in the oneness and being part of everything. And remember, I can't remember your order because everybody's order is different, sequencing, but when you're in the place of letting go, when you've intended and you've connected to your heart and you have a mental thought form about, or a visual form, or a sensing of what you want to create, and then you let go, that place of having let go and just surrendering and having no thought, no more intention, no more plan, no more directiveness from any aspect of oneself. Then it's just beingness. And then whatever comes, but it's certainly not my intention at that point to create or to visualize or vision.
And what Jacqueline's saying is really, really important because that's when, because what we want to do is we want to live our intention and experience our intention as if it is already created. So what she's explaining, she has done that. You've totally let it go because you know it's already real and you've already brought it into your field as an experience.
I think you raise your vibrational level when you sing, and sing truly from the heart. It doesn't need to be a song. You can sing what's ever on your mind and put it to whatever music that comes to you. And just singing that just raises your vibrational level. And it certainly feels physically it helps you too in terms of endorphins. And that's one of the reasons I stay in the choir, even though the practices are really laborious and all this stuff, but it's just really great to have a really great practice and everything go right in the practice, and then you feel so good afterwards, and you truthfully are way up there.
And you become magnetic then to what you want, because you are that expression of joy, and you are that raised vibration. And since the law of life is like attracts like, then automatically those good things are going to come to a person. And some people like to create just by simply doing that. They don't want anything to do with specific intentions. They just want to raise their vibration and be in joy all the time and know that all good is coming to them. And that's a perfectly fine way of creating too. I kind of like to get my hands in the mud and have fun. It's just like, it's fun. That's why I like to be specific. So, but either way of creating, it's great.
I use mindfulness to help me get centered, and that raises my vibration. Like sometimes we just don't know what's around. There's just so much beauty. There's just so much life around us. We are here to live in a moment because that's all we have. We go from moment to moment to moment. And when you wake up in that moment, all of a sudden realize that you already have everything you need, that everything is right there, that connectedness, that oneness, that stillness is where we don't even need an intent. We're beyond intent. We are just there. And that is just like the best feeling in the world. So we live to go from moment to moment, and when you can just connect with that oneness, that's just perfect. It's just absolute harmony. And that's what connects me. That's what just bring it. Sometimes taking it up works, but sometimes also bring it down and just give it a big hug and just be like, oh, thank you, God, thank you for being in my life. Thank you, because you just realize what's already there. We're kind of like sleeping, and then we're waking up to our spiritual beings, to our real us, and that's a cool adventure. That is the ultimate adventure, knowing that we can create our life any way we want, just choosing. That's all we got to do. If it doesn't work, choose different.
So you are, when you know who you are, when you are completely in that space of oneness, then you are everything. So you need nothing. Therefore, everything you desire comes. Well, I think that's where alignment comes in. Alignment and attunement. I like to say little things like, I am in total alignment with my highest destiny path now. All my actions, words, and deeds flow from that alignment. I'm inspired and guided to desires that are of my highest good. And then, so when you making an intention like that, then when inspired to action, you can be pretty sure that it's going to be pretty much on track. So.
One last comment. I was just aware that a lot of times when we're talking about I intend, is it the I of the personality or is it the I of the soul? If it's the I of the soul, the words aren't necessary. So I'm just pointing out, I think that what we're talking about is if we're in our personality, the words might be helpful. If we're in a state of the soul connection, irrelevant.
So, in our manifesting, creating process, let's look at it in this way. This is kind of a fun way of looking at it. We receive inspiration or a desire. We know who we are, one with Source, the very presence and power of love, life itself, all powerful to create. We generate emotion, energy in motion, which is also undifferentiated substance, which is matter, or the mother, the void, which is the substance of the divine, undifferentiated, as of yet. We express our intention, which is the thought, which is the pattern, which is the father, the patter, the father. And then we imprint the pattern or the thought into the matter or the divine substance, the energy, the feeling, the emotion. Then we release expectation, detaching from outcome, and we follow our inspired action, our intuition, and our inspiration. And when I think about that, it just feels really kind of very expansive to think about the male and female within each of us as the very force of creation that's operating all the time. And the obvious manifestation of it is procreation and creating more beings. But really, we're doing this all the time. There are these two aspects of the whole, which are in fact one, which play with one another, which are the pattern and the way of creation.
I really respond to that. I've not seen that before, but I've always been aware that emotion is energy, and it's always changing, and our emotions are always moving and flowing, and it is a movement. And we get stuck in them and caught or want to be attached to them or hold on to them or whatever. But that's really, I've never seen the word written with E-motion. It just like click, thank you. It's just a great way to remind us about what it is in essence. It is energy moving.
It's page 4, octave 3, and it's the exercise, Who Are You? And you can play with the words and say them differently if you feel inspired, but basically what I'd like you all to do is reach out to your neighbor and tell them that there is only one presence and only one power. And if that this is true, then you must be the very essence, substance, and being of that power. Your body, mind, emotions, spirit is the one power in manifestation.
I am one with the one power, one with the one universe, one with the essence of being. I contain in my body, in consciousness, every single thing, every single element, every single thought that is here in the universe and in the collective wisdom. And with this, there is divinity in me because I am one with the divine. We all are one with the divine. And I feel that we must be then so accepting of everything that happens, everybody that exists, because our consciousness is a thing that is one with everyone and will exist and does exist outside of our physical body. And our consciousness together with our physical body contains every element that ever was and will ever be.
So, clearing past conditioning. This is a really cool process on page 6, octave 4, info sheet 2, clearing past conditioning. And I first found this process in a book called Spiritual Marketing by Dr. Joe Vitale, master reality creation teacher and millionaire, self-made marketing guru. And he didn't write it. Somebody else wrote it, and he gave her credit in the back of his book. And then I use it. For a while there, I was using this thing like daily, many times a day. And now I just use it whenever it comes to mind that I'm feeling a blockage of some kind or what have you. If I feel a need to release something that seems to have some sort of tentacle in my mind or emotions, I'll just pull this one up. And I've added my own dimensions of thought to it, my own soul clearing experience. So it's but here's the simple process. So if you all just want to meditate for a second upon an issue or a thought form or something you'd like to clear, maybe we could just intend that we're going to clear that with this little process right now. This is important to reality creation because we want to be clear. We want to be a clear channel for what we want. We want no obstructions in there. So you ask God, source, life, whatever your word for that substance and essence of our being is. Your angels, whatever, the fairies of the universe, however you like to call that. Ask source to go to the very core of this issue right now. Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God, divine presence of life itself, thank you for analyzing, resolving, and healing this issue for me at its very core, in depth and permanently, right now. Divine presence of life, thank you for a complete clearing on all levels of this core issue. I know that I have asked, and therefore I know that this clearing is now complete on all levels at the core. Divine presence of life, please move in all directions from this core, in all directions in time, space, and dimension, analyzing, resolving, and healing everything, every tentacle, thought form, emanation from this core that no longer serves me, until they are all completely clear on all levels, in all layers, throughout all time, space, and dimension, in my genetic lineage, in my soul blueprints, in my DNA, in all lifetimes, past, present, and future, on all concepts of time, until it is completely and totally resolved and completely released from my being. Replace it with, and now I'm going to allow you to just decide what you'd like to bring in instead in its place. And allow this healing and this clearing to continue in my being until it is complete in ways that are graceful, easeful, joyful, uplifting, and satisfying to me. Bring in any knowings, any understandings that I may need to fully integrate this change and shift within my entire being. Make sure that I interface with and understand and synchronize myself with these new understandings in ways that are for my highest good. Holy Spirit, divine presence of life, you love me and I love you. We are one. I give thanks and I know that this clearing is now complete. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is.
The energy in this room is very high and very fine, and these wonderful experiences that Laura is sharing with us, if you really take it in, I feel that you're going to find releases and shifts in your own energy in your life. There are what I'm feeling and hearing now is that if there is something that you truly feel and are ready to release right now, that this is a wonderful opportunity right here in this presence of all of these. You all have such beautiful energy. So now this is a very good opportunity for you to just, whatever it is that you want to release and whatever it is that you want in your life, that you can do that right now. Spirit is telling me that it's not a matter of what we do. It's just a matter of now being aware of it, aware of being able to do all that you want to do now. And this is what I feel Laura is sharing, is that now we must put ourselves into the mode of it is, so just allow it. It is, so just allow it. It is that I don't want to, I'm feeling things and it's coming kind of fast. But it's just interesting because I was in meditation this morning, and I felt to bring this information here because it was also a message for Laura in it as well. And it's what everything that Laura is talking about came through to me in my meditation, not in exact words, but as far as intention, as far as awareness, as far as allowing, as far as the process, as far as clearing, as far as raising our vibrations, all of these soul tools that we can use to just realize that it's something very simple, but I don't want to keep going. I don't want to take the time, but I just wanted to just share a little bit of that.
I wanted to say is also being that there is a human, we are human also, in that when we do feel frustrated and we do feel fear and judge or whatever that does come, just to know in that moment to step out of it and to have a choice and to bring love to that part of you that is learning as you're going too, because that's going to keep you realigning.
I had a session with Laura the other night, and I kept on saying I want to let go of my ego. I want to let go of my ego because my ego is like in my way, and you do this, and there's the ego back there. But I noticed that instead of letting it go, maybe I should embrace it in a sense of looking at it like it's a little kid and hugging it and being like, oh, you're so cute. There you are again. Come over here. And every time I do that, it just melts into me. And it's okay because I can see myself in the bigger picture. Like, my ego wants to control everything down here, but I'm like, look, dude, we can be part of the whole, man. The whole picture, Bring it into the fold, not reject it. And it changed my life, So many times we want to let go, but again, embracing things is so powerful because you acknowledge that you created it and yet you can uncreate it, We are our own God,
It's a process, and that's what I've come to give myself a break in, and just I know I'm, my heart. I'm here. I'm following my, I'm aligning with my heart. And the truth is, I can go into judgment on myself, and that's what I felt was important to bring out was that truly, it's like, yeah, we're gonna feel these feelings or be aware of. Okay, here's my ego again, but it's like, oh. There it is. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to hate that part of myself that can't get it yet, but just be like, oh, there it is, It's like, okay, you see it. That's loving to yourself. Yeah, exactly. And you're just bringing more awareness to it. And that's what's going to keep bringing you, just keeping it moving and going and not getting stuck.
Who are you really?
A silly little human that makes mistakes all the time. B, someone that needs to be monitored. C, a powerful being of light, beautiful beyond measure. D, a consumer colonist, loyal to the economic well-being of your country. This is hitting home a little bit. E, an extension of the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving, everywhere present being of divine love called God. Or are you C and E? My teacher spirit tells me that's the right answer. Or G, A, B, and D.
So what do y'all think? What is the answer?
F is the answer.
Very good. All right. I knew you guys could do it. Why do I need to feel as if my vision is happening now? Another multiple choice. Who would like to read that one?
A, because it will probably never manifest, so I might as well go ahead and daydream. B, I have to create it before anybody else steals the idea. C, the moment is where all the power is, and whatever I imprint it with is what is coming to me. D, there's nothing better to do. E, this is how we create. Or F, C, and E.
So I just want to say a couple of things briefly. So we've set the stage here with our common ideas of what's possible, knowing who we are, raising our vibration, and creating what we desire. So that tomorrow we are launching ourselves into a process of visionary stewardship. And we coined the phrase last week, which I really like, called energetic activism. Visionary stewardship through energetic activism. I really like that.